He slammed my office door so hard the glass rattled. "Hand over your badge," he barked, my stepson, flushed, frantic, pretending authority he never earned. I didn't rise. I didn't blink. I simply watched the panic climb his throat like smoke. He had no idea I already knew, no idea I'd been waiting for this moment, no idea the inspectors would arrive at 8 a.m. sharp, and by then the trap would already be locked. I met him 8 years ago, the day I married his mother. He was polite then, quiet, uncertain, soft around the edges. A boy trying to become the man his father never managed to be. I tried to help. I gave him responsibility at the company, eased him into operations, taught him the difference between cutting corners and cutting your own throat. He learned the wrong lesson. He learned how to hide things. And somewhere along the way, the boy I tried to protect turned into the man who tried to ruin me. I noticed the first crack in December, a missing document, a falsified signature, a routine materials report that suddenly didn't match the annual submission. Small things, too small to accuse him, but large enough to whisper, "Look again." So I watched. I started checking the logs myself, quietly, at night, when the building hummed like a sleeping animal. The emissions reports were off by a few decimal points. "Adjusted," he had typed. Adjusted, meaning buried. A week later, I caught the invoice trail. Cheap disposal, no oversight. Illegal dumps that guaranteed one thing: catastrophic fines if uncovered. It was his plan, his scheme, his signature, and worst of all, my name on the top line. He'd framed me so cleanly, a lawyer would applaud the craftsmanship. I didn't panic. I didn't confront him. I simply stopped being his stepfather and started being his executioner. The plan unfolded quietly. First, I restored every original log, time-stamped, archived, unalterable. Second, I forwarded the records anonymously to the EPA with a simple note, time-sensitive, lives at risk. No drama, just data. Third, I waited. He strutted around the company those days, chest high, laughing with the board, whispering about transitioning leadership. He thought he was pushing me out. He never realized I was leading him in. At 7:58 a.m. this morning, I heard the inspector's boots before I saw them. 3 of them, clipboard aces, federal calm. They moved straight to his office. His mother called me seconds later, voice shaking, breath tangled. "What's happening? They're saying it's serious, very serious." I told her to sit down. She didn't listen. At 8:06 a.m., he burst into my office, pale as chalk. "They're shutting us down," he gasped. "They said the logs point to criminal negligence. They said you were managing them." I let the silence harden. "You know," I answered softly, "I used to." Then my phone buzzed. The inspector's confirmation. All original logs verified, source identified. He didn't see the message, but he saw my smile. That was enough. His face cracked. You did this?" "No," I corrected. "You did this. I just kept the receipts." He staggered. His chest caved. The man who tried to destroy me finally understood he had destroyed himself. I grabbed my keys and walked past him. He tried to follow, but his legs were trembling and his hands had turned useless. "Where are you going?" he whispered. "Home," I said. Federal investigations exhaust me. I reached the parking lot just as he stumbled out behind me. "What do I do?" he asked, voice broken, raw, stripped of every ounce of arrogance he once weaponized. I turned the engine on, rolled the window down, and delivered the line I'd been saving for weeks. "The fine is $10 million, I said, "or you pay me $2 million and I make your part disappear." He froze. And in that moment, sun in his eyes, sweat on his collar, inspectors swarming behind him, he understood the depth of my silence, the precision of my patience. He thought betrayal had made me weak. It had only made me quiet. Quiet men are the ones you should fear. I drove off without waiting for his answer. I didn't need to. People like him always choose the cheaper option, especially when survival is on sale. And as I watched the building shrink in the rearview mirror, I felt the anger finally loosen its grip. Justice isn't loud. Revenge isn't dramatic. It's a single, perfect moment, when the person who meant to bury you falls into the grave they dug and looks up, realizing you're the one holding the shovel.